was on the beat, cause you should know that by now. Check it. Hey yo, music's on my mind, like my 59, 50, I ain't lying. Check it. Yo, this ain't a fitted song, this a get with it song.
Yo, what up?
Yo, BTV Sports, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Yo BTV Sports from Bravely TV, live from Bravely Studios in Garfield, New Jersey. I'm Jason Enrique. That's Ugo, boy.
It's your boy.
We got Mark behind the glass right now. Shout out to everybody that is in the check-in right now. 862-621-9536 is the number to call in around 12:30. But before we start, let's give a big shout out to Mo from Hackensack, who came through as a guest last week. Did an amazing job. I think he really held down his own. Has been very supportive of the show and so on and so forth. And yeah, we got to get some Ugo Boy merch, which is now available on the link at Ugo Boy 88 on Instagram.
Link below. Grab that merch, baby.
I would give you my Instagram, but that's another story for another day.
Savage.
But anyway, yes.
Savage.
Well, first and foremost, man, Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year,
New
brother.
Year. It is 2024 now.
Happy New Year.
We made it.
Yeah, we made it. Yes. New Year, new me.
New Year, same me.
All that good stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah.
But you know what? New Year, but it's never a dull moment in the NFL, which is what we're about to get into right now.
Absolutely
and
not.
we know that we're going to be talking about your beloved. Let's get a little Jimmy Johnson in there right now.
The Cowboys, get them going, baby. I'm rocking the star.
Yep, yeah. So before we continue, we want to say that Yo BTV Sports is brought to you by the First Class Second Place podcast, the Ugo Boy merch, the Paint podcast. Shout out to Joe Bedingo, and also shout out to Bravery Studios in Garfield, New Jersey.
Lovely Garfield, New Jersey.
All right, so let's get the show started. Lions and Cowboys thriller ends in what? Controversy?
Of course.
Oh my God! It had to be if it involved the Cowboys, and it had to be on the day that Jimmy Johnson gets inducted into the Ring of Honor, the whole nine. It has to be prime time, and the Zebras had to make their appearance known. But you know what? You are the one that has a dog in this fight. So let's take it away. Keep that same energy. What you got?
Speaking of dogs, shout out to Monty. Shout out to Monty. Yeah. Shout out to Rocco.
Shout out to Monty. Shout out to Rocco. Shout out to Kevin.
All the dogs.
Yeah. Shout out to all my dogs.
Shout out to Drake. All the dogs. Yeah, I mean, listen, this was a game that that both teams absolutely needed for seeding purposes.
Oh, yeah.
The Cowboys wanted to keep pace in the NFC East. Can I get Tell Me When I'm Telling Lies the first of the year?
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
And one more!
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
By the way, before we continue, I want to thank you for introducing me what a pipe bomb is.
Yeah.
So I think 2024, my wrestling knowledge is going to get increased. So we'll
Shout out to
see.
CM Punk. I just copped this new hoodie. It's on the way.
Tell me when I'm telling
It'll be
lies.
here next episode for sure. Yeah, I mean, listen, I said that 10 toes down, baby. I said that the Eagles, it was not going to be a slam dunk that they were going to basically win out and run the table. Even after when the Cowboys played the Eagles, I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. When they played on Sunday Night Football, even Collinsworth and a lot of the analysts beforehand, it was like the Eagles should still win this division easily. They're gonna just run the table. They're gonna win all their final games against the Seahawks and against the Giants and against the Cardinals and the Giants again. They were just gonna run the table, and I was like, they're not playing good football. And when you're not playing good football, you can lose games that you should win. And honestly, they hadn't been playing good football all year. They were living on the edge all year long, barely beating bad teams. The Commanders took them to overtime.
They lost to the Jets.
They lost to the Jets. Keep the charges going, Bob. Golly. So with that being said, I said, tell me when I'm telling lies. I said that they were going to drop some games toward the end of the season, and then they give a late Christmas gift wrapped. We're going to give you the Cowboys. We're going to give you the NFC East, and we're going to give you the 2 seed. We're going to hand it to you on a metallic silver and cowboy blue platter. We're going to give you the 2 seed in the division. So now, coming into this game, I knew the Dallas Cowboys needed to get this win, and they got this win in dramatic fashion. Round of applause, real quick, for Rain Dakota Prescott, first of his name.
Gotta say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest.
Say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest.
Say the whole thing.
And can we give a round of applause for C.D. Lamb, Sedarian DeLeon Lamb. I gotta say the whole thing, the whole government.
Oh man, he is a bad man.
That's a bad man. I just copped this jersey on Black Friday too.
Nice.
I'm rocking that for the Ugo Boy podcast next week. For
Hey,
sure,
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
You go, boy.
Over 200 yards receiving. He set the franchise record for receptions of the season and the franchise record for receiving yards. He set it in the same game. He broke two Michael Irvin records in the same game with Michael Irvin in the building to honor Jimmy Johnson. So, round of applause for CeeDee Lamb. I said he was top 5, not 5. I said he was top 3, not 3. Currently, he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards, and there's only 2 receivers that have the most receiving yards in the league in the last 2 years. One is Tyreek Hill. The other is Cedarian Lamb, first of his name, CDYAC. Shout out to Mel Kiper. So I mean, listen, this is nothing new. I saw this. If the offense was able to understand that, listen, we've got an elite, top tier wide receiver. We got to get him the rock. And we got to move him around too. We got to move him all over the place. And he was a problem. The Lions had no answer for CeeDee Lamb. And you know what's overshadowing a dramatic game is the officials once again.
Oh,
and this is something we've been talking about, man, since the inception of this show. Even before, when we would just shoot the breeze and talk about football. Like the refs are negatively impacting games. They're deciding games in some cases or whatnot. Now, to dispel some of the foolishness, because there's been a lot of foolishness about this particular game.
Oh, yeah.
To dispel some of it. So, John Perry, a former NFL official, now he works for ESPN as an in-studio officiating expert, your favorite term. he nailed this perfectly, and I put out a YouTube short about this probably the next day or whatnot. So on that on that 2-point conversion play, number one, the Lions were lined up with an illegal formation. So let's just get that out the way first and foremost. It was an illegal formation. That flag, you would think that flag was going to be thrown anyway. So that's number one. Number two, even the Lions admitted they tried to confuse the Cowboys by, we're going to send out three offensive linemen. They're not going to know who's going to report. And in the process, you confused the referee. The referee thought, 70 was reporting and 68 and then 55 and then 44. So you confused the refs because you wanted to be cute on top of that. But the flag was going to be thrown regardless. That's what cracks me up about this whole thing. Even if 68 reports or whatnot, the second they motioned that receiver motion and he covered that guy at the end who was Decker 68, it was an illegal formation.
Yes.
This was a non-issue to begin with. So the flag was going to be thrown regardless. So that's not really, and I know that's what the game is being lost in that, saying, the Cowboys got Jerry Jones paid for the game or this, that, and the third and all this other nonsense.
The check cleared.
Exactly. But what gets lost in it, and I think you've seen the clip, before that, the reason why this was even a situation to begin with, they called a tripping call on Peyton Hendershot a couple plays before that flagged the Cowboys for 15 yards.
Ugh.
Aiden Hutchinson did the tripping for the Lions. He stuck his foot out and tried to trip Tony Pollard because Pollard was off to the races, and then they called the flag on the Cowboys.
Yeah, of course.
I really don't like
So
that.
I was waiting for that one too, man.
Exactly, I was too. I think that every time I see a ref get on my TV screen. So the refs blew that call. But since it didn't really affect the game, quote unquote, it's not an issue. No, the refs have been, give me 10 trashes. The refs have been consistently trash.
Yes.
In the NFL, it's never been worse. The officiating in the NFL has never been worse.
It is horrendous.
And you would think, and a multi-billion, with a B, billion-dollar corporation that with all the replays, they got a replay command center in Jersey, they got a replay command center in New York, probably got one out in Cali, they got replay command centers everywhere, but you can't get an officiating command center to get these calls right because they are negatively impacting games. And this is my fear going into the playoffs. This is why home field is such a big deal, because I feel for road teams, and on some occasions I do feel for home teams, because at some point you just like clockwork. You know an official's going to call some foolishness at some point. And the players have to play in spite of that. And so it's a shame that this game is being overshadowed by that. But, a win's a win. I ain't apologizing for it. The Cowboys got the win. Jared Goff and that offense, that run game, everybody was afraid that they were the number 3 run game coming into the game or whatnot. But Dan Campbell, listen, the fighting Dan Campbells, this guy, he had his poker face on, because it's one thing to go for 2 once.
Yeah.
It's another to go for 2 twice. It's another to go for 2 for. He's got to win for 2, 3 straight times.
Yes.
And so really,
he really showed a lot of cubes.
Exactly. So for anyone saying that Dallas was gifted this game, the Lions made up their mind that we're going for 2. If it's a freaking pass interference call on us, backing us up 15 yards, we're gonna go for it. So they made up their mind. But Dallas, they rose to the occasion. They got a big win they needed. They absolutely needed that.
Absolutely.
And they went 3 for 3 in my late season midterm assessment. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles, they beat the Seattle Seahawks, they beat the Detroit Lions, all 3 potential playoff teams that are going to be in the tournament, all NFC playoff contenders. They beat all 3 of them. So I'm going to say it unequivocally. They have a legitimate shot to get to Vegas, but this upcoming week, and we'll talk about it. With they play the Commodores with Lionel Richie.
Oh, what a disaster!
that should be fun, but hell of a game, Round of applause for the Cowboys, and round of applause for Jimmy Johnson once again.
Yes, special moment.
Yes. And
Did you have plenty of Kleenex and everything? I know you needed it.
I watched the game in the man cave in the basement.
Oh,
plenty
nice.
of tears were shed. I was alone. I was like, because again, this is something.
Taking a Birkin bad break.
Big facts. It's something I was waiting for 30 years, bro. Like this man, I mentioned it in last week's episode. This is the greatest coach in the history of the franchise, not named Tom Landry.
Right.
And this
totally agree.
And this man deserved his flowers. I was afraid he was going to get the Pete Rose treatment and get his flowers when he's not here. That's Major League Baseball's playing with him. But no, he gets his flowers now. It was just so beautiful to watch all the former players, our 90s teams, the 92 team, and I believe the 93 team, his back-to-back Super Bowl teams. Michael Irvin was there, Emmitt Smith was there, Troy Aikman was there. And I'm telling you, when he yelled at the end of his speech, "How about them Cowboys?" and freaking Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin tackled him, the curse was broken at that moment.
Oh my God!
The curse was broken at that moment, and it was. I'm telling you, play the music. Play the music. Let's get the hero out the way now. But it was a great moment for Cowboy Nation. Great moment for the NFL, really, because he's a legend.
Yeah,
he's a legend.
Like I said in the previous episode, this was essential. This was basically the same thing as Oppenheimer and IMAX. It was a movie to be seen.
Facts, big facts,
Yeah.
big facts.
Right, but of course we had the zebras that had to interpret. Basically try to mess up the game, and they messed up so egregiously that even Roger Goodell couldn't say, "Yeah, I can't even back this up. We got to demote you. You guys can't even work in the playoffs. That's it. You guys have been suspended. The whole 9." That's how egregious this whole thing was.
Yes,
and it's just I don't know whether to see if it is scripted or not, because I feel like it is scripted in the sense that it happened to the Cowboys. I think Vince McMahon was actually in the screenwriters room at that point. But you know what? It benefited you. It benefited Cowboy Nation. Congratulations to Jimmy Johnson. I think it was very well deserved. And you know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I got to give a shout out to Jerry Jones, because for all of the nonsense that he's been attached to for so many years, especially after the whole thing with Jimmy Johnson and everything, he took some accountability. Yeah, I think he realized that what he needed to do, like he showed more than ever now that he cares about this franchise, he cares about this fan base. He needed to know that what he did was not cool. He needed to make things right, and ultimately, I think it's going to work out. And like I said, even before this whole brouhaha happened, I had a really good feeling, especially you, but I also had a really good feeling that this is going to be Dallas's year. Now, I don't want to jinx anything, because it's been a long time coming for you guys. Yeah. But you know what? It's looking good right now. It's really looking good right now.
Yeah, and again, so we'll get to that when we get to game picks and previewing this upcoming final week of regular season football. But no, it's a game they absolutely needed. To me, in my mind, it's still a lot of PTSD we're fighting, but it validates them as a legitimate contender in the NFC.
Right. And it also proved in the game, as far as forget about former players just for a second. Let's talk about current players.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott showed why he is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league with this game. If you guys needed some more evidence or whatever the case may be, I think he proved it in this game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's just eating hub. He proved he's clutch.
Yeah, and again, this is without a run game. Like,
Right.
the run game has struggled mightily.
You guys miss Zeke.
We miss Zeke for sure. Injuries along the offensive line. Guys are banged up. And again, he's having. This isn't even his. I've said this numerous times. This isn't even his best statistical season. He had 37 touchdowns, a franchise record 2 years ago.
Right.
And currently, as we sit here, he leads the league in NFL. He leads the league in touchdowns,
Right.
touchdown passes, or whatnot. So yeah, he's still an MVP frontrunner. I think it's going to come down to him and Lamar. Lamar's not playing this week, and I don't think Purdy's going to play this week either.
No, they're resting them.
They're resting them or whatnot. So he can stat pat those stats or whatnot. Get a big win or what, but he has a legitimate case. I still think it saddens me to say this. They're still going to give it to Lamar, I believe, because it's a media-driven award.
Yeah. It's a popularity vote.
Yeah, it's a popularity award. And to say that the Cowboys would still be the Cowboys without Dak, to me, is so foolish.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And you can make the same argument with the Ravens. The Ravens wouldn't be the Ravens without Lamar. And the only argument you can make that for is for the Avengers. Like, the Avengers would still be the Avengers with or without Brock Montana. But listen, Dak has cemented himself. He's cemented himself as a top-tier elite quarterback in this league. Haters can say whatever. The comments blow up and go crazy in the YouTube shorts and on TikTok.
Oh yeah! Oh my God!
When I say
they're out for blood.
They're out for blood. Like,
Whether you like it,
perfect.
Play it, Marv. Play it, Marv.
learn to love it because it is the best thing going today.
Yes, Sirski. Yes, Sirski. Tell me what I'm telling lies.
It's one of my favorite
Tell
jobs,
me
by the
what I'm
way.
telling lies.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Shout out to Dak, man. Keep lighting it up, baby. Keep lighting it up.
Also, let me take this time to shout out to my boy Joel from Meta. I hope he's doing well with his Eagles. Not doing so great.
Yo, there's an APB out for your boy.
Oh.
I haven't seen Mans.
He's not ready for the red table talk. Let me just say that.
He's not ready to come to the red table yet?
I love you, bro, but I gotta call it like it is, man, and I hope you can respect that. At least.
Bro, they got a bolo out for Mans. Like he's on a milk carton.
Right.
I haven't seen him.
AJ
in
Brown
a while.
is wilding out on social media.
Woo. It's wild times in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, it's
Wild
not always
times.
sunny in Philadelphia. Apparently.
Nah, it's definitely not sunny now. Definitely not. You know what I mean? But shout out to Joel, man. Let you know.
Yeah, I love you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, no. Back to this game though. I mean, I'm. It always comes back to the refs, though, man. Like
Yeah.
I feel like listen, enjoy this victory. I know you're very much enjoying it, and so on and so forth.
I am.
Yeah, but they always have to put like some kind of damper on it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's just not going to stop. I expect this to happen again. The next year, the year after that, so on and so forth. Especially you representing the star and everything.
Of course,
it's just you have to pay the toll. That's
Yeah,
exactly
comes
what it is,
with the dinner. That was in the words of Troy Aikman. But this is absolutely going to happen in the playoffs to someone.
I don't know who's going to be.
I don't know who's going to.
yeah.
I pray it's not us. But no.
I don't think the NFL can hose you guys twice. I think they're actually treading lightly right now. I think that they're pulling a Walter White right now. You better tread lightly.
Yes, sir. I mean, shout out to Breaking Bad. Round of applause for Breaking Bad. On my third rewatch. Almost done. I'm on season 5 right now.
I'm actually on season 2 right now. You inspired me to rewatch it.
It's so good.
I love it.
So
it's my
good.
favorite show ever.
It's one of the greatest shows ever made.
Yeah,
hands
for
down.
the long time it was Sopranos, but then afterwards Breaking Bad took it.
They're both in my top 5 all time, and they're never leaving,
Right,
without a doubt. But yeah. So we're gonna be again, and we'll be covering each and every week. We're obviously gonna preview the playoffs on the You Go Boy podcast.
Yes.
This week.
Shout out to Dez.
Shout out to Dez. D-Sizzle will be there on Monday night. Mongo will be there. You'll be there.
Yes, I
Can
will.
I get a Kevin Nash? Because the band.
Band is back together.
That's gonna be a freaking movie, man. I'm excited about that.
And Marvin's gonna shoot it in IMAX. That's how beautiful it's gonna be.
Absolutely. 4K, baby. In 4K. In 4K.
Yeah, 862-621-9536 is the number to call in. We're gonna open the phone lines now for anybody who wants to talk their ish. They want to talk their sports. Anybody that was on the like Mo or Carlos or
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. Shoot any of the Carloses. I just noticed that we've had 3 Carloses as callers. So any of the 3 Carlos, you guys are welcome to call in. Well, yeah. Speaking of Aaron and his Dolphins.
Oh my goodness.
Woo!
Can I get 3 Dom DeMarcos? 3 Dom. Yo. So listen. I think the same witness protection program or the same vacuum cleaner service to go missing that freaking Jesse Pinkman and Walter White took to try to disappear. I think Aaron might have to take it because.
By the way, you smell that? It smells like tuna, Tiger Bailoa, who's stinking it up in Baltimore.
That's savage. That's savage.
Yes, I had to get my little in there.
That 50 burger. They got a 50 burger with fries and a donut for dessert, in the words of Michael Irvin.
And a bootleg Happy Meal at that.
Yeah. And a RC Cola extra ice.
Savage.
Yo. I'm looking.
Send that over to Bradley Chubb's hospital room.
Oh, my goodness. Shout out to Bradley Chubb. Tore his ACL. Sorry, no. He's going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, it's all right. He's crying in his Lamborghini. He'll be all right.
He'll be good. He's wiping his face with $100 bills. He's good. He's good.
Savage.
No, I mean, I didn't listen. I picked the Ravens. I
Me
remember
too.
we did our
Me
game
too.
picks.
However,
I did not pick a 50 burger.
No.
I did not.
The three of us, you, me, and Mo, shout out to Mo, we all thought that this was going to be a field goal game. Like it was going to come down to a field goal, and we all predicted that Justin Tucker would be the hero of this game. But oh my God. And what's also interesting is that this is also kind of a way that I see that the Ravens are turning a corner, because we mentioned earlier that this is a moment that the Ravens are in where they're playing at home and they lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to. We thought that there was a chance that was going to happen, but we still chose Baltimore in the end.
Yeah.
And, they did pull it out. They did pull out a win, but I don't even think pulling out is the right term. I think they just ran away with it.
Yeah.
Oh
Quote the Raven, nevermore. I mean, that's what they did. They put it on them. And again, the Dolphins are beat up. They're beat up on the offensive line. That's no secret. Tua himself is beat up. He's got the bad shoulder. But Waddle's out for the rest of the year too.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's a big blow to the offense. But go ahead.
That's right. But you know what? Like, this is injuries aside, this is also showing that it has been a continuation of what has been going on with the Dolphins all year. They don't beat teams that are good. The only reason that they have an 11-5 record right now, I think that's what their record is because they've been beating up on teams with 500 or below records.
Right.
So that's not really impressing me anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that, and listen, I've seen this movie plenty of times, and I'm not a Dolphin fan, but I've watched them closely. You know how they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Yeah.
So the Dolphins, I've know plenty of Dolphin fans, and I've seen them play, and they're in our division and so on and so forth. I've seen this so many times. They look good. They try to, they give their fans false hope, and then they think that this is their year. It's going to be the ship. There's been so many times where even when they're on Hard Knocks, which they're on right now, and they think that they're going to make it to the ship, but they're a playoff team. Give them their credit. And Mike McDaniel's actually shown that he's actually a pretty decent head coach. Yeah. And Tua is as much trash as I like to talk about Tua, he actually is no scrub. I mean, he's
gotten better.
He's gotten better.
Definitely improved.
And he has the weapons and so on and so forth. Yes. So good for him. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. But it's just the same narrative. I mean, that they are not going to make. That something, they're just going to blow it. They're going to come back to earth and eat a lot of humble pie when they get into the playoffs and they show why they haven't been a relevant franchise since the days of Dan Marino. It just happens. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
Listen,
Ray Finkel is not coming through that door anytime soon, man.
Laces out, baby. Laces out. No, I mean, like I've seen it all year with them, and even in the game, their claim to fame for the year is beating Dallas on a last-second field goal. And again, Dak Prescott led a game-winning drive with Brandon Cooks mossing Jalen Ramsey, taking the football off the top of his head to take the lead. But again, they ran the ball and drove and got the field goal at the end. That's their claim to fame. That's their biggest win of the year. Every time they played a top-tier team, they've taken a loss by double digits. Yeah. Now, the Eagles' biggest win this year was against the Dolphins, and the Eagles don't blow anybody out. No. But they beat the Dolphins by 14.
I mean, they blew out the Broncos, but
I mean, yeah.
It's the Broncos.
They scored 70 like Tecmo Bowl on the Broncos, but the Broncos, they're going through a divorce right now. Yeah. Like, what does that tell you? So they don't have any impressive wins on the ledger, and I don't trust them in a playoff scenario to beat a Baltimore, especially after the last week's performance. I don't trust them to beat Baltimore. I don't trust them to beat to even beat Kansas City, honestly, if it comes down to just quarterback play. And really, they have a golden opportunity, and their playoff starts this week when they play the Bills. Yes. That's for the division. That's for potentially the 2 seed, I believe. A lot is on the line in that game, and they've got to validate their season and validate their place in the AFC hierarchy by winning this game. And you're at home, all right? You've got some semblance of home field advantage. Like they've got to. This is a must-win for them.
Yeah.
And I'm like we'll get to the picks when we get there, but I'm very interested to see how they bounce back, especially after getting slapped around. They got the smackdown later. They got the people's elbow dropped on them.
Yeah.
With the Ravens.
Well, this is a match.
Exactly.
Well, this is definitely a matchup that they have to. That is definitely other because I know that the Dolphins are in there right now, but this is a huge game for the Bills.
Huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Because they've been a pretty decent team for the last couple of years. They've been a top 5 team. They've been making it to the playoffs. They've been in the Super Bowl conversation and so on and so forth. But they've taken a step back and they don't look like the old Buffalo Bills of when Josh Allen was in his when he found his superpowers and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But the window's closing. I don't know if there's any team in the NFL right now whose window of the Super Bowl is closing faster than the Buffalo Bills. And if they lose this game, oh my God, it's going to be the beginning of the end.
Absolutely.
This is a prequel.
Listen, Stephon Diggs, there's no guarantee he's going to be there next year.
No.
I mean, and the rumblings have been that he's been on thin ice with Josh Allen, with this offense, with this organization, and very similar to the way he exited Minnesota.
Right, and then the controversy with Sean McDermott.
Exactly. Then you got McDermott making ridiculous comments. You got Allen, who's been super inconsistent. They fired their OC, Dorsey. Ken Dorsey, and they hired Joe Brady. So I mean, it's still all out in front of them. When the Bills are right, they can beat anybody in the league.
Yes,
when they're right. But when they're wrong, they can lose at home to the Broncos.
Right, and the defense hasn't been healthy either. I mean, they lost Matt Milano. They lost Von Miller.
Tre'Davious White's gone for the year. Yep. Yeah. Poyer's in and out the lineup. Micah Hyde, I think he's out for the year.
I think so too,
So they're missing Von Miller. He's got his issues off the field with his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like they got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, they just freaking signed Leonard Fournette to have a run game or semblance of a run game. Cook's been in and out. He's been fumbling the ball recently as well. So they have a lot of question marks coming into the tournament. With that being said, though, if they put it together, they're a team that could go on a run. They really can. They've got the talent to do it. You know what I mean? And aside from Mr. Generational at quarterback, they've got the personnel. It's just like you mentioned with the injuries. I feel like the injuries and the inconsistency, that's what's going to do them in if they don't make it.
It's already affecting them right now. They just have to make sure that it doesn't completely take over.
Right.
Yeah, but it's happening right now before our eyes. 862-621-9536 is the number to call in, guys. Phone lines are open right now. But going back to the Ravens, though, so the Ravens have also made news because they signed Dalvin Cook, who was released by the Jets.
Yes,
they mutually parted ways. So I haven't been paying too much of the Ravens this season, except for maybe like Lamar. Oh, we got a call. Yes.
We've got a call.
Yes. Who is there?
This is Kamal.
Hey, come on.
Hey,
Shout
up?
out to the Free Gems podcast.
Free gems.
What is going on, bro?
How you guys doing?
What's up, bro? Are you rocking your Kenny Pickett jersey or your Ben Roethlisberger jersey? What jersey you rocking?
Listen, it's Mason Rudolph season, man.
Oh man, Mason Rudolph. I never thought that I would actually look at him in that light that I did. But you know what? Got to give kudos to him. I mean, he did play a good game.
He did, and he kept you guys alive. So what's up, bro? What's your question to the podcast this morning / afternoon?
I just want to bring up what Hugo said. He had a really good point, and I like tuning into you guys. You guys have a lot of great points.
Thank you.
I think when we're talking about the Cowboys, I think the real underrated heel that they haven't been able to figure out is that run game.
Agreed.
And
I mentioned that.
I think late in the playoff push, that might come back to bite them. Not only that, I think that they're a lot softer on the run than a lot of people want to give them credit for.
Yeah.
Teams can put together these long drives on them, and Dak is having an unbelievable year. His turnovers have definitely gone down, but they haven't been getting a lot from the running game. I know the O-line has been banged up, but I think when it comes to playoff football and the NFC, when you look at the real contenders, I feel like every one of them can at least sustain some type of running game. I think that might be able to come back to bite them at the end.
Yeah, no, I fully agree, 100%. I think that listen, this what's going to do them in Two things: not being able to stop the run is a big red flag. They missed Jonathan Hankins. I believe he's going to come back, if not this week, absolutely in the wild card round. They miss him. I mean, the guy's like 350 pounds is their run stopper. When they've been at their best stopping the run, he's been in the lineup. And so they've missed him mightily because he got hurt in the Eagles game, and he hasn't been in the lineup.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the lineup for the last month, and they've suffered without him. So also linebacker play, we miss Leighton Vander Esch. You know when he
that's a big void right there.
Yes, huge, and linebacker is definitely going to be a draft position of need. There's a reason why we wanted to bring Shaq Leonard out of retirement. But the Eagles went ahead.
After being handsomely overpaid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then again, he's been with the Eagles and he has not looked good. He has not looked good. Like he has put a lot of bad film out there. But again, I would have liked the body out there. You know what I mean? To just be a presence in the run game and occasionally a blitzer. But no, the linebacker play, stopping the run and getting the run game going, because the run game, Dak is already playing out of his mind, but you imagine him with a run game, with a potent run game to go with the connection he's got with CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson and Brandon Cooks in the offense, and they would be on another level. And honestly, I feel like in the playoffs, if they don't find that run game, if they don't find it, if it just never shows up or whatnot, that we'll look back and be like, well, we know why Dallas didn't make it to Vegas. You know, it'll be right there.
Yeah,
I agree. I also think that if they had the number one seed home field advantage, that they would be tough to beat, because we see, the difference between how they play on the road versus how they play at home.
Agreed. Agreed.
It's literally been night and day. At home they look, unbeatable, look like the true stars on the helmet, but on the road it's really been a different story. So, they might have to eventually go on the road in a snowy, cold game, and I just don't think they match physicality wise. I think they have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, but as far as physicality wise to match up in the trenches, especially on the road.
No,
that's my opinion.
No, you're right. You're 1,000% right. They are built to play indoors. They're built to play on turf. They're faster at home. They already lead the league in pressures and getting to quarterbacks. Nobody gets to the quarterback faster than Micah and the boys. But that's on turf, and they're undefeated at home. We've won 16 consecutive games at home, the most probably in like about 20 or 30 years. That's why the playoffs started for us really with this Detroit game, and that was a playoff atmosphere, a playoff vibe to it.
I agree.
And I was very impressed with the way they pulled it out. The playoffs are going to continue against the Washington Commodores, led by Lionel Richie. They absolutely need to get this win, because winning this game gives them not just the division, but it also gives them the 2 seed. That guarantees them at minimum 2 home playoff games. And they wouldn't have to see the Avengers in San Francisco. They wouldn't have to see them until the NFC Championship game. Exactly. Yep. So they need to treat this game like a playoff game. They need to not, and again, it's on the road, it's in grass, it's not on turf. Like they've got to put it together, because we saw this with Arizona and Philly. If you let a bad team, you give them hope early on and you don't put them away early and you let them hang around, they're professionals on that side too. They might have they might have third stringers and guys packing up the U-Haul trucks getting ready for Cabo, but they got pros on that side too. And trust me, the Commodores would love nothing more than to ruin the Cowboys' New Year and take away the division or mess up their seeding or or win one for Ron Rivera, who's about to be fired on Monday. Like they would love nothing more, and it's a divisional game and it's a rivalry game on the road where stuff happens. So like they need to treat this like a playoff game. Because this is a playoff game.
Yeah,
I totally agree. I already know. you know, the Commodores tomorrow before the game is going to be Cancun on 3. 1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Savage.
Yeah.
Give me some savages there.
Yo, come on. Before we let you go, I just want to ask you. So, obviously, we got the last week of the regular season coming up. Man, I can't believe it just came by so fast.
Flew by.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is that when it comes to the AFC North, specifically the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens, it's a final game. The Ravens already locked up the AFC, the number 1 seed in the AFC. The Steelers they're still 500. Congratulations on another above 500 record and everything. Now, when it comes to these two teams, whether they're meaningless or they have, or they have something to play for, it's just always a brutal game. Like, you guys, the players legitimately hate each other and everything. So I expect this team. I expect this game to be no different. Even though the Ravens already locked up the number 1 AFC, the number 1 seed in the AFC, excuse me, and the Steelers I don't know about their playoff implications right now, but it's going to be a tough physical game. What do you expect to see from this game coming up? Because it's going to be a bloodbath, as it usually is.
I think it's going to be a battle of the trenches like it normally is.
Yes.
The Steelers are playing
the battle of Normandy, basically.
Pro Bowler Snoop Huntley, so they got to watch out for the Pro Bowler Snoop Huntley, and his running ability and how he commands the offense. And it's always bad blood every time these teams meet. No matter who's out there. And I like how the NFL shaped this week, because in order for the Steelers to make the playoffs, they got to win. The Titans have to win. The scenario is they have to win. The Titans have to win, or the Bills have to lose. So there's a few different scenarios, and then the Texans and the Colts can tie tonight, which is very unlikely. But I like how they set it up with this being the first game.
Yeah.
And so, and everyone's not scoreboard watching.
Yeah.
Because that takes the fun out of it. They got to go take care of business on the road, and then they sit back and let the chips fall where they may. I'd rather do that than have the other 2 games that they're counting on at the same time. And now even scoreboard watching, or this game comes on later than the 2 games that they need. And let's say they already know they're not making the playoffs. That just takes the fun out of it. So I like the fact this is the first game. All right, boom, rivalry. Even though Lamar's not playing. And it should be a good one. I wish Lamar was playing, because I really do. I think we always match up against. We always play well against them. I was actually at the game in February. In October in Pittsburgh when George Pickens caught the ball down the sideline.
Yeah.
I was in that end zone, so it was.
Oh wow!
Wow, good seats, nice.
Yeah, but you know what? This game does nothing for Lamar Jackson except to pump up his numbers in an already MVP season.
Yeah, that's why he's not playing. That's why he's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, as far as as the competitor in me, because the competitor in me, I just want them. I see a fully healthy Ravens team. Now, I wouldn't play him. It doesn't make sense to play him. At the end of the day, they're looking for a bigger goal than the MVP. Even if, let's say, somebody like a Dak Prescott goes off and wins the MVP, I think they're playing chess, and Harbaugh's being smart about the thing. There's no point in him rolling him out there when you're already locked up the number 1 seed. You already accomplished what you needed to in the regular season. Let's see if Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley.
Gotta say the whole thing. Come out. Kay, real quick, and then we'll get you off the phone. Who is your MVP pick? Real quick.
Good one.
That's a good question. My MVP, I would have to say Lamar. I would have to say Lamar and what he's done this season. They've been probably, at the past month or so, they've shown head and shoulders that they're probably, they with impressive wins back to back against first San Fran and then the Dolphins. I think Lamar's the MVP.
Okay.
Yeah. No, hey, listen, I agree with you as well, because especially coming off a year where he signed a new contract with Baltimore while everybody was saying, no, we're good, and he's proving all the doubters wrong. I know a lot of people right now are kicking themselves for not taking their chance at getting Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Before I get off, it's funny you say that, because there were a lot of questions coming into the season, because before, they got a new OC, they were more run dominant heavy as a football team before. Now they were dropping back and passing it. And, me being a Steelers fan and beyond that, I didn't know if Lamar could actually be a drop back quarterback.
Yeah.
But he wowed me this season. Even
right.
from the beginning, I'm like, all right, he can really do that. And now you see him, he's a passer first and then a runner second. That back in the old style, it was more of a
Right.
run first.
But unfortunately, we got
He's
some
a
people
pocket
out.
passer.
But unfortunately, we got some people out there that think that he's not quarterbacky enough.
He's not quarterback enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, last week's episode was last.
Shout out to the clown of the week last week.
Of course, yes.
Monte Bolanos.
Exactly. Yeah.
I honestly, I don't think you can name 3 quarterbacks that I want over him personally in the league right now. I don't care AFC, NFC. I don't think I can name 3 that I want as my franchise quarterback over Lamar. He's a very stand-up guy. You never see his name out there in the media and any
Right.
personal, trouble or turmoil, or you never see him, being a diva in the locker room, anything about that. He's just about his guys and about winning.
And this is a Steeler fan saying this.
This is a Steeler fan saying this. And we talked. And we talked about this.
And I pray for his downfall every week.
I know you're gonna be
savage right there.
Yeah,
man.
you be praying for it this week, but he's not playing. But we did talk about this last week because Mo made a great point about how whenever a quarterback like Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts or think of some nozzle out there that nobody really likes, when they sack him, they're doing like a celebratory dance and everything. But every time Lamar Jackson gets sacked or he gets tripped up or whatever, the opposing team usually lifts him up. They help him back up. They actually show him the respect that he deserves. And I don't think there's a lot of other quarterbacks in the league that do that. If anything, they're celebrating every time somebody gets knocked down.
I totally agree. I think he's a very likable guy. I liked him coming out of Louisville. I was a big Lamar Jackson fan coming out of Louisville.
Yeah, Larry David, a famous Jet fan, said that the Jets should have drafted him, and instead we got Sam Darnold, who I didn't hate the pick at the time, but everything's hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
Everything is hindsight. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. The Ravens were lucky enough to get their franchise guy at the bottom of the first round.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I'm going to have to deal with him for the next 10 plus years or so.
Yeah, but you got Kenny Pickett. Right?
The picket fences are out.
Kenny two gloves. But Kay, thanks for the call. Round of applause for Kay real quick,
man.
Man.
Before we let you go, though, shout out to you, shout out to Ez, and tell everybody where they can find the Free Gems podcast, which is one of my favorite podcasts here at Bravery Studios and
Big
all
facts,
around.
Big facts.
Appreciate that, guys. You can check out the Free Gems podcast. We drop every Wednesday at 5 p.m. The Free Gems podcast on YouTube, the Free Gems podcast on Instagram. We got a lot. We're going to implement a lot of new things in the show. Our 100th episode is coming up, so we're trying to think
nice.
about.
Nice.
Round of applause for 100 episodes.
Yeah.
Century mark right there. Love it.
We got a lot of big things, a lot of big things on the way for the Free Gems, and shout out to Mark, shout out to Bravery Studios and everything, and I support you guys, and I love the show, and definitely got to stay on this end.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you,
Thank you very much, man. Same goes for us, man. Same goes for us. All right, well, thank you for calling, man. And shout out to Ez, man. And by the way, was it your birthday recently? I saw you celebrating or something.
No. That wasn't my birthday. It was
Okay.
my boy's birthday.
All right, cool.
All right.
Shout out to O'Shea Jackson, your co-host. Shout out to Free Gems, man. Later, dog.
Man. All right. Enjoy it, Soul Joe. Later, bro.
Talk to you.
All right, man. 862-621-9536 is the number to call in. Thank you so much for coming off from the Free Gems podcast for calling in.
We got Deji in the chat. He says the Eagles are one and done.
Oh, yes.
Exclamation points.
Yeah, Deji, you're welcome to call in as well. 862-621-9536. But yeah, no, Eagles are one and done. We spoke about this already earlier on the show. It's over. I mean, you made a great point. I mean, everybody thought that this was the Eagles division to be had, and then one fell swoop, and here comes the Cowboys. Let's get another Jimmy Johnson, please, real quick.
Please.
Yep.
And I've got let me get that Jimmy Johnson real quick. There we go. It's all good, Marv. Marvelous on the board.
Yes.
Marvelous on the boards. Again, and real quick on the Philadelphia Eagles downfall. Listen,
I wish you had the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia music playing right now.
we don't want the video flag.
No.
I'm
just saying
we can't play. You know, I wish we could too.
Yeah.
Because it was funny. Because I think a couple years ago, Jalen Hurts' first start at MetLife when the Giants won that game, they played It's Always Sunny as the game ended. They played it in the stadium.
That's a savage right there.
Super troll job by the Giants stadium people. But no, I mean, I said this Tell me when I'm telling. Actually, you know what? I think it's about that time to keep that same energy.
Yes.
This. Can I get a Chris Tucker? Let me get a Chris Tucker. And one more. And one more. And one more. Golly. This episode of Keep That Same Energy is brought to you by First Class Second Place Podcast. Get that wherever you stream your podcast, as well as the You Go Boy podcast. New episodes on the way this upcoming year. Sports Talk with my boy man Mongo, and of course this guy right here, Jason Enrique and D Sizzle, on the way this week actually. So I said, tell me when I'm telling lies real quick. Give me one more.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I said this when the season started that coming in, the Eagles were going to be the favorites for the NFC East. I said that, and they earned that. You know, they were the runner-ups in the Super Bowl. They had an amazing season last year, 70 sacks, I believe.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts would look like a pure MVP in that Super Bowl. He was special. Yes,
and he outplayed.
Dare I say that generational? He showed at least for one game.
He looked like the G word in that game.
Yes,
and I. My fear was that he was going to bottle that up, and we're going to start to see that for the next decade plus. And I'm just like, great, and he's young too. But here's what I was trying to explain, not just on this show, but on my show, on Chop Sports, so my main man Dave Sturcio, on any other podcast that would have me. You don't lose 7 starters on your roster, 2 coordinators, a defensive coordinator, an offensive coordinator, a starting safety, another starting linebacker, a starting running back, a starting defensive tackle who's a Pro Bowler in Hargrave. You don't lose that type of firepower and then tell me that you're going to be the same exact team the next year just because you had a good draft.
Right.
That's not how this works. There was going to be a drop-off. And I said this coming into the year. The drop-off is coming. And Eagle fans were just riding high, but we're winning. We're finding ways to win. And what did I say on this show? I said that that's not a sustainable business model to have to go to overtime to beat the Commodores or beating Kirk Cousins on a last-second drive because Justin Jefferson drops the ball through the back of the end zone.
Right.
Or struggling to beat insert team, almost losing to the Giants on a Hail Mary. Like, they were living on the edge, playing a dangerous game from game to game to game. Valdez-Scantling, if he catches that ball against the Chiefs, they lose on Monday night.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If the referees aren't half as trash as they were, the Bills beat them. They needed overtime to beat them. They needed overtime to beat them. So living on the edge, like living on a prayer, Bon Jovi, whatever you want to call it, they were that all year long, and it finally came home to roost by losing to Drew Lock on Monday Night Football. This guy went 92 yards, dude.
The guy that was Young GC's backup singer.
Exactly. a career third stringer. You lost to him on Monday Night Football. You lost to the Cardinals. The Cardinals are an expansion team this year. And granted, they beat the Cowboys. They did. And they beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. They've beaten some good teams and whatnot. But they're in the top 3 draft pick sweepstakes right now. They're a bad football team, and you lost to them in Philadelphia. They have been playing this game like freaking Saw. You want to play a game? They've been playing this game all year, and it's finally come to roost, and which is why they basically handed back the NFC East to the Cowboys and the 2 seed, and why they'll be playing. And there's a good chance that they're going to even rest starters or rest a couple starters in that Giant game because they're beat up. Their secondary's not playing well. They're fighting inside the locker room with freaking AJ Brown not wanting to talk to people. Yeah. Like they're in shambles. Like they got a lot of problems going into the tournament. Do they have talent? Can they flip a switch? People have been waiting for them to flip that switch since week 1, bro. When they needed Mac. They almost lost the WAC 100 on week 1.
Oh my god!
You see what I'm saying? Like, this has been going on since the season started. So I'm not surprised because I called this and I said this would happen when the season started. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Keep that same energy.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I mean, I'm speechless right now, man. I don't know how to follow up that. You said everything that needed to be said. The proof is in the pudding. We have evidence. You can go stream it on Bravely TV on YouTube right now to actually check it out.
I said this.
Yes.
I said you were right next to me.
Yes.
When we were on audio, I said this. I said this.
Right in the days of you 36, bro.
36, bro. That drop is coming.
Yes, absolutely. But I honestly believe with the Eagles that there's something going on internally. Like I've seen, this reminds me of 2016's New York Jets when they was coaching the top bowls. There was a lot of internal fighting. A lot of people, a lot of guys were at each other's throats, and it was just a toxic locker room. And I think that it's spilling over into the field right now. I mean, you lose. I understand. It's the Cardinals and everything.
And and Jonathan Gannon was the former coordinator.
We got another caller.
We got another caller. We got another caller.
Say your name, gangster.
Yo.
Is this Deji?
I think this is Carlo. Who's this?
Happy New Year, guys.
Oh, this Deji.
Oh, Deji, what's up, bro?
Round of applause for Deji. Yo, Bravely Sports, our #1 fan. Where's the jollof, man? Where's the goat? Where's the goat? I need it. I need the meat pies. I need it, man.
Give me the gold cake, the jollof. I gotta lose the weight for the new year, bro.
Where's the fried plantain, man? I need it. I need it.
Come over.
Oh, I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up with wifey. I got you.
All right, so what's going on, Deji?
Yeah, man. With the Eagles, I knew this was coming, bro. I knew this was coming.
Tom DeMarco right there, please.
Come on.
Yeah, give me another Don Lemon or whatever.
Give me another Don Lemon.
I'm sorry, continue, bro.
Funny, like I live in South Jersey, and I'm all around.
Oh, he's surrounded by Eagles fans.
I'm surrounded by Eagles.
Oh my God!
Cry, Eagles, cry.
Oh man, it's Eagles Central down there, man. God, I couldn't live down there. I couldn't do it.
I know what it's like because I know what it's like. Not to interrupt you, but I definitely feel your pain because I'm a Jets fan that lived in Miami before, so it is not easy. I had to cleanse myself so many times from all that filth.
Go ahead, Deji.
Yes.
What was your point?
Apologize.
But I keep telling them, I'm like, listen, this is a copycat league. They're gonna figure things out next season, and they're like, oh no, it's never gonna happen. Well, it is happening, and guess what? The Giants are about to beat them, and then they're going to playoffs.
Yo, you had Don DeMarco and a Don Cannon. If you got some cannons back there, like load those
Give
up.
all the Dons. Give all the Dons.
So Deji, two quick questions while we have you on. Why do you feel confident that the Giants can end a losing streak? You guys have lost, I don't know what the number is. I know Brian Dable has never beaten the Eagles and he's never beaten the Cowboys, but he's never beaten the Eagles. You guys lost a lot of games in a row to them. Why do you feel confident coming into this matchup to end the season?
Well, I mean, Giants defense is playing. They're finally playing good. I mean, they're playing very, very well right now. Last week was a really close one. I mean, if bum ass misses field goal,
Mason Crossbar.
Jesus.
Yeah, like he really should have made that. And then, of course, our bum ass quarterback can't convert a 2-point conversion. So.
Hold the language, Deji. It's a family show. Like I can feel the frustration.
I'm sorry, but like,
shout out to Europe.
Oh, bro, I could make that 2-point conversion. Come on.
Yeah. Tyrod had Barkley in the flat, and I think he had some money on the game, some points on the game, and I think he just
little Pete Rose action there.
Yeah, little blue chips action right there, a little Tony action there.
Oh man.
But so aside from that, Deji, while we have you, real quick, I
have a question after you afterwards.
Okay, so I want to know. Let's fast forward to the draft real quick. We mentioned it in shows past. You guys are going to finish with a top 10 pick, ideally. Who right now, who is your pick for the first round for the Giants? Do you have a player in mind, or do you have a scenario where you guys potentially even trade down for more picks or trade up to get a guy? What's the plan for the draft in the first round specifically for the Giants?
So, I mean, if I were drafting, I mean, I'm going to try to see if I can trade up maybe 2 spots to get Penix. I think he's going to be gone.
He likes Penix.
I've been checking out some highlights of Penix, and wow.
Yeah.
He's good. He's really good.
He's gonna be gone in the first.
But you
was-
also
he was
have
my pick. He
But
was
you
my
also
pick.
have Bill. You also have John Mara as your owner, which I don't want to say any more than that. So
Oh my God,
that's a savage right
yeah,
there.
it's a savage. We had my cousin on, Robert Elo, and he claimed that some Blanco privilege was being used.
And we're not talking about Benny Blanco from the Bronx either.
so your choice is you believe Penix would change your franchise dramatically overnight.
Oh, I'm loving that accuracy. I was just watching that game the other day, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
the Sugar
wow.
Bowl. Yeah, he looked good. The Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
He's looked good. He's looked good all year.
And this is coming from a guy
He
that doesn't watch
reminded me of
college ball.
Dak. I mean, he reminded me so much of Dak. Just
Oh.
now, yeah. I mean, same. He's very mobile and everything. So either go for Penix if you can't get him, trade down, get some offensive linemen. Stay away from May. He's not that.
No, that's a savage.
No.
That's a savage. You don't want Daniel Jones 2.0 because that's what I see. I see
I'm
Daniel
sorry.
Jones. I see Daniel
I'm
Jones
done
the
with
third.
the North Carolina quarterbacks, man. I'm done with it.
Yeah, so I had a question before we let you go, Deji, and I always thank you for calling in and checking in as always. We really appreciate it. So everybody that's watching and listening to my voice right now knows that I'm unfortunately a Jets fan, so I know what franchise malpractice looks like. So with that being said, I'm just trying to wrap my head around when the Giants were still kind of in the hunt to get into the playoffs, even as a wild card. And you guys already know what you have in Tyrod Taylor, what he's been able to prove into the league. Why would you guys do it the opposite direction where you guys had Tommy Cutlets to see what he is as opposed to having Tyrod Taylor? And if anything, I would have had Tommy Cutlets come in after the season, during the season when they're already eliminated and out of it, so then you could see what you could have in him. But doing it to see what you have in your quarterback while you actually still have a chance to make it into the playoffs, when you have a backup quarterback that certainly can help you get into the playoffs, and he still has a hell of a cannon for an arm, and he's actually been proving a little bit more. He's been playing a little bit more better than Tommy DeVito ever did in the last couple of games. It just seems that you guys did it in the opposite. You guys were going backwards. You know, it should have been done the other way. You guys should have had Tyrod as soon as he came back healthy, because I know he had that injury, and that's why they put in Tommy Cutlets. As soon as he was ready to go, they should have put in Tyrod, and then they should have had Tommy Cutlets come in when the season was essentially over for you guys to see if you guys can see what you guys have in your quarterback. And I also think that it's not very smart for Tommy DeVito to be going out signing autographs and doing the whole Nicky Barnes thing when he should be actually should be in the film room. He should be in the film room studying and continue to be a better quarterback. But I can imagine him, Brian Dable, going to him like, "Hey, you got practice today?" Like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got to go to Montclair and sign some autographs for about an hour and a half."
That's savage.
It's like I don't know what's going on there. So to me, that looks like franchise malpractice, and I know this because I'm a Jet fan, unfortunately. So what is your take on everything that I just said when everything seems to be in Giant land very ass backwards?
I mean, I'm 100% on board with you, but I think just think of it from Dable's perspective, though. I think they don't want DeVito. They're probably going to do the same thing they did to Mike White. They're going to
Agreed.
No,
I see it.
I'm getting PTSD right now.
Yep, I see it.
They're going to release him. Because the point is, I mean, they owe Daniel Jones enough money as it is, right? So why not? If I'm Dable, I'm keeping Daniel Jones as my backup. Draft a QB. Get some.
That's too much money to have on the books as for a backup, though. That's too much money to have in the back.
Your owner has. We'll wrap with this point here. Your owner has already, because Sheen came out in his presser a few weeks ago, and it just sounded like Mara had an earpiece. He had an earpiece in his ear, and Mara was talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna say when healthy, Daniel Jones is still our franchise quarterback." That lets me know that your owner is still making football decisions, and your owner is not really interested in drafting a Penix or interested in drafting a quarterback in the first round.
Unless his name is Drake May.
This is what I see. I see that you guys are going to either take an impact offensive lineman or an impact defensive lineman in the draft, or possibly a wide receiver, because the wide receiver class is loaded. Like Washington, they've got Rome Azune, of course, Marvin Harrison Jr. They got a ton of really, really, really good wide receivers coming out this year. I see you guys because you definitely need some help there.
Darren Waller's not doing it all by himself.
He's not. But I see your owner still believes in Daniel Jones, and your GM, he likes to have a job, and Dable likes to have a job. So they're just going to be like, well, I mean, we got to roll with it. I mean, this is just what it is or whatnot. Like, I don't see you guys taking a quarterback in round one. I don't see it. Like, I'd be shocked, honestly, if the Giants took a quarterback.
I mean,
I really would.
I mean,
they should.
But the Giants kind of do this all the time. I remember when they drafted Daniel Jones, everybody wanted an edge rusher. They wanted Josh Allen, who went to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And he's having a good career.
And that's why everybody. This is crazy because we talk about the Avengers and so on and so forth. I actually remember when I was watching Avengers Endgame, and then afterwards I got that notification that they drafted Daniel Jones, and I'm like, and I heard somebody in the movie theater going like, "What the f?" Oh my god.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Shout out to Cat Williams.
We'll wrap. We'll end finally with this point. I know we keep saying, but we'll end with this point.
But we love having you, Deji. We love this.
We love you, dog. You're a part of the family, bro.
Yeah.
Deji, if the Giants, I can barely say it. If the Giants don't take a quarterback on draft day, what's your reaction going to be?
Oof.
I mean, if they don't draft a quarterback, get a wide receiver. But I really don't. If Penix isn't there, I don't see like there's no point in drafting a quarterback at that point. I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams. I don't think he's all that.
Mr.
Good.
Wendy's.
Oh, Mr. Wendy's sandwiches.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay.
And you know who's sponsored by Wendy's? The Giants.
You were sitting on that one. Like,
No. I had to go in the attic for that one.
But Deji, thanks for calling, man.
Yes,
we love you, bro.
we love you, man.
We love you, man,
Yeah.
for sure, man. Round of applause for
All right, love you
Deji.
guys.
My brother, Naija, no di carry last
What he said.
Nigeria. Nigeria's in the building.
862-621-9536 is the number to call in. We got a couple more minutes for callers. So yeah, please call in or join us in the check-in on YouTube right now at Bradley TV. Excuse me. So yeah, we also got the wild card race and the seating up for grabs.
Yes, can you pull up the standings real quick?
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
NFC and AFC. I mean, it was hot last week.
Mm-hmm.
It's muy caliente this week.
Yes.
Tell me when I'm telling lies real quick, Marvelous, please.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I said that the wild card race was not etched in stone. There was going to be some movement. Don't be shocked if whoever was the 6 or 7 last week is not the 6 or 7 coming.
We got another caller. Yes.
We got another caller.
Yep.
Who's on the line?
Yo, what's going on, man? This is Kyle Will calling from Jersey.
Yo, Kyrie Williams is in the building. What's going on, bro?
What's up, bro?
Yo,
My bro.
Can't wait to have you on the show next week. Little announcement right now.
Okay.
Kyrie Williams will be joining us on BTV Sports next week.
Yo.
Tune in for that
I'm
episode.
excited, man.
Yes,
Oh
sirski.
man, I can't
Yes,
wait.
sirski.
I can't wait, bro. But anyway, yeah, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, man. I'm listening to the show, watching it, and I want to touch on a couple of things. I have my main point I want to exit at the end, if you guys don't mind. But I kind of want to react to some of the things that you guys were saying.
Sure,
as
sure,
far
sure.
as the Giants. First and foremost, I agree. I don't think the Giants are going to get a quarterback, even though we should.
No.
And I love Penix from Washington.
He's got a
I
hell
think
of an
he's
arm,
incredible.
bro.
I like
Oh
him.
my god.
I like him, man.
And it's like the intangibles, if you will, the things that don't come on the stat sheet, just the grit and just the will to win and that X factor that passes the eye test that I saw last week. That I'm like, yeah, that's a dog. I would love that. I don't think it's going to happen. So I agree. I did want to touch on what you were saying about Daniel Jones. Excuse me, about Tommy Cutlets and
Tommy Faison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Copernicus, what are you doing? Would you wash the head?
Hey, whoa.
I think that's a fascinating point that you made, and I don't think it's been talked about enough. But here's what I think, and this may come off a little conspiratorial. So
We love it. Play the X-Files track. Play the X-Files
music.
right now.
X-Files music. Play it, Marvelous. Yes, I'm Millie rocking to X-Files.
I love that. No, man, but here's the thing. Like, as much as it's about the game and as much as it's about, the X's and the O's and the play callers and things like that, it's a business, right?
Facts.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
nothing sells in sports like stories. It's the key element. It's why, shows like this can continue to go on and go on and go on.
And we had a lot of Pulp
it's all
Fiction
about
this
stories.
season too.
Yes, Sirski. Yes,
Yes,
Sirski.
we did. Yes, we did. And I mean, Tommy, that you can't script a better story than that. This local guy, it's kind of reminiscent to Victor Cruz, just not with the with
Right.
the incredible season.
Victor Cruz is a
but it's
quarterback.
still, his parents are there in the crowd. His mom's cooking for him. That whole thing.
His agent that looks like a CIA operative.
Yeah, facts.
And I really think that Dayball loves Tyrod. He brought him there for a reason. He brought him there with him.
Facts, for sure.
I think if Dayball had more of a say, I think we would have seen Tyrod come back as soon as he got healthy. But I think it was a thing like, look, man, this is going to get us a lot of fanfare. You see what's going on in Kansas City with their outside distraction stuff with who's dating who.
Yep.
And, we don't have much to ride home about with this season as far as his team. But if we can get a story that can keep us in national media, or even if not national, just super local, everybody's talking about. And then like you said, this kid, this kid going out doing autographs and stuff, which I don't begrudge him for. I don't begrudge him for this, even though it doesn't help make our team better on an individual basis. You get a very finite window in not just in sports, but in the entertainment business, period, to capitalize on a moment.
That's facts.
So I don't begrudge him for going and doing autographs and stuff like that, because he's a young kid, a mediocre quarterback and football player. He may never have an opportunity like this again to make some money. And who knows, he could parlay this into some TV show opportunities in the off season, or even a movie.
Yeah, The Real Housewives of New Jersey is coming soon, starring Tommy Fellas.
Right. He'll have him a new Cavalieri. What's her name? Christian Cavalieri or whatever. Who knows?
I don't know.
The future holds for him. But,
I don't know, and I don't care.
But I think I do think, and I think that Dayball couldn't take it anymore on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or whatever, Christmas Day. And he said, you know what? This is an opportunity. We still are kind of semi in the hunt. I'm putting my guy back in. And then we saw what happened on the field. I wish they would have rocked with Tyrod from day one.
You guys would be a wild card if Tyrod Taylor started from wire to wire, and your owner wasn't making football decisions, because I know it's driven, and he was hurt too. On top of that, he missed a lot of games from injury. I think the rib. If he would have started from week one on, and you guys would have done the right thing and benched Daniel Jones, he didn't. But again, you guys were paying him too much money. It wasn't going to happen. You guys would be fighting for your wild card lives right now. You guys would be in a scenario, especially with the way the wild card is shaping up this year. We'll get to that when we get off the phone with you. You guys would be fighting for a 6 or 7 seed right now, which is what I thought was going to happen coming into this season. But things happen.
Well, I mean. Good.
I could go on and on about the Giants, but I know you guys got to go. I just want to make this one last point here. I'm not sure if you guys talked about it already, so pardon me. But I'll hang up and listen to your answer. But I want to get your reactions on this situation with the NFLPA, with the Broncos, with Russell Wilson. I think this is like such a fascinating / egregious thing that happened. And I mean, I feel like we're in a situation, we're in an era where players of all sports, but especially the NFL, which has always been unheard of, come out and speak their truths, to lift the curtain and show what's going on, to speak up for themselves, and kind of.
We've seen that in basketball, yeah.
Right, and not let the NFL use the media as their arm, their separate arm to steer these narratives and put it out there. But I just want to kind of get from your guys, very professional and your insight analysis on one side of it, which is just your opinions, which is what do you feel about that situation, but coming out of this more constructively, where do you see Russell Wilson going? Because I know the Commanders could use a quarterback. I mean, it'd be a really interesting situation if he went to the Raiders, which I don't think will happen, but that would just make it really interesting. I would just love to see what you guys think about some of the landing spots for Russ.
I'll take this one real quick.
All right,
and
thanks for calling, man.
See you next week, bro.
I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, I don't think a lot of people have been talking about this, but one thing that I think would be intriguing is Atlanta. Because Atlanta, Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke, they're obviously not it. There's a lot of talk that Arthur Smith is going to lose his job, and if so, then Eric Bieniemy is going to be a head coaching candidate for them if he decides not to stay in Washington, because they're obviously going to fire Ron Rivera. But that's an option. And also, we know how much that Russell Wilson is a family guy. Yeah. We know that he loves his wife Sierra to death and everything. She is from Atlanta. She would love to be home. They could be in the South, and also when you're on a spotlight like Atlanta, they really don't have. They don't have the clout or the cachet as like a Pittsburgh Steelers or a New York Giants or an Oakland Raiders or any of those prestige teams that have been known forever, or like the Green Bay Packers. I think that it would be a better soft landing if it would be in Atlanta, because you'd be playing indoors. You would have a new head coach and possibly Eric Bieniemy, who has actually proved that he's an offensive genius in this league. Sierra would get to be home again, and the spotlight is not going to be as tough or on you, because Atlanta is just not a marquee market. They're not like New York, they're not like Los Angeles, they're not like Chicago, they're not even like Pittsburgh. And I think they would have a softer landing there and actually give a little bit more leeway. And I just think that it's, as far as from an intangible standpoint, as much as Russell Wilson has regressed in a lot of ways, I will take him over Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heineke any day.
Oh my God, the muffler man!
Yeah,
yes,
and
yes.
especially if you have Kyle Pitts still there as a weapon and everything.
Yeah.
I think that Atlanta is actually a destination that Russell Wilson and co should be looking at possibly.
Oh yeah, I mean, Atlanta is in play. I feel absolutely. They're a quarterback away, especially with their weapons: Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. They've got weapons over there, but again, I said this coming into the season, they don't got a quarterback, so they're going to suffer.
They don't even have a head coach either.
They don't. They're going to be out of both when the season's done, and they play in the NFC South.
That's another factor. The NFC South.
That's a layup
against
right
New
there.
Orleans, against the Tampa Bay Bucks,
against the Panthers. Come on,
what a disaster.
So shout out to Joe. I mean, it's just like I think the Vikings are in play as well.
Because Kirk Cousins is going to be out after
Cousins
this one.
Is on his way out. More than likely, I could see the Vikings making a run. I think they're a quarterback away from being a legitimate wild card contender. They're a wild card contender now without a quarterback.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? They're mathematically alive. It's a long shot, but they could make it in as the 7th seed, which is hilarious because they're on like their 5th or 6th quarterback or whatnot. So the Vikings are in play. So I feel like he's going to go somewhere. I wouldn't be shocked if it's either of those two teams. He's going to go to a team that really believes that they've got everything set up to be a quarterback away from being a legitimate divisional contender, and an NFC contender or an AFC contender. I feel like that's his best bet. I don't think he is at the level he was at his peak when he was with the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. But I do think he's serviceable enough, and you can win games with him. It's just got to be a certain way. He needs. I said this in weeks past. He needs a dominant run game.
Yes.
He needs a dominant offensive line.
Yes.
He needs weapons, and he needs an offensive coach that it doesn't have an ego and is like, yo, we're throwing the ball 50 times a game. Like, no, he's not that guy. He's not that guy.
No, he's still mobile.
He's still mobile enough, and he's still a guy that if the situation around him is strong enough, you can win games and he can be effective.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's just not the case in Denver. Denver doesn't have enough talent, especially on the offensive side, to compete right now. And on top of that, Sean Payton, that's not his guy.
No.
That's not his guy. You know what I mean? Like you come into a situation as a coach as well as a GM, very similar to the Giants, where you inherit a quarterback situation or you inherit a starter or star player, and you're just like, I didn't pick this guy. This isn't my guy, or this isn't my coach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sean Payton just strictly took because he loves to coach and he needed a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason. I mean, if it wasn't for the whole suspension and everything, he would still be coaching in the league anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So he just took the opportunity. It was there for him. He couldn't turn it down. But he just had to. It was a small price to pay, essentially.
Yeah,
Wilson.
yeah. But
at least, to his credit, at least he tried. Maybe he could have tried to. He did the right thing, is trying to be a coach and be behind his quarterback and everything.
Yeah.
But now the wheels have completely fallen off. Right now.
Yeah.
And also, I would think that this would be another good motivation tool for Russell Wilson, because he's been through the mud towards the end of his tenure in Seattle. Mm-hmm. It has not been great in Broncos country. Let's ride. So
he hasn't been riding anywhere.
No. Like I said, the wheels fell off. So.
Big facts.
But I think he needs a fresh start. I think he needs a smaller market team. I think he needs a reboot, and it wouldn't hurt to keep his wife happy. Happy wife, happy life.
True.
So
shout out to Sierra, still looking gorgeous as always.
Absolutely, yeah.
But let's get
to 1-2 step.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Let's get to these wild cards situation. Let's get to the people that are in the hunt. So currently in the hunt on the NFC side, Bucks and Packers Excuse me. No, that's further. That's further down. Excuse me. Yeah, the Bears. They're definitely in a hunt.
Yeah.
No, the Vikings. There we go. That's what I was trying to get to. The Saints, Vikings, and Falcons are actually all still alive. They're all alive for the NFC South, and they're all alive for a wild card spot.
Right.
And the Seahawks as well. Honestly, my quick question to you, and on the AFC side, still in the hunt, or on the bubble, the Texans and Steelers.
Right.
My question to you, Mr. Enrique, is of these wild card teams, who, if they got in, do you think they could upset somebody, or they could actually make some noise if they got in as a wild card?
Good question. I from the AFC or the NFC?
Let's go with the AFC.
The AFC. Well, I mean, listen. I think it would have to be the Buffalo Bills. Because looking at everybody else that's in the hunt right now, I mean, maybe you could say Jaguars, but I don't know. There's just something about the Jaguars that they're just not there. I don't feel like they're not a bad team. You know, they're number 4 in the AFC right now for a reason. But I just don't think that they're there yet. I think that the Bills are more motivated now because they know that the wheels have fallen off a little bit. Their Super Bowl window is closing rapidly. Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence as presently constituted right now. But there's a lot of pressure on the Bills, and I think that they've been able to show that they could, prove that they belong in the league.
Yeah.
And
they rise to the occasion.
Yeah, they can rise to the occasion. Yes, thank you very much. That's why you are who you are. But they need this. They absolutely need this. And if they get in, I think that they're going to actually be motivated and they're going to be fired up and they're going to be like, we understand what's at stake. We know that our Super Bowl window is closing right now. We know we have injuries on the table. We know our head coach is a dummy. We still got a legit quarterback.
It's all good.
It worked out. It worked out.
I'll take some Valvinus.
Marvelous.
I saw him at like a WrestleCon recently.
Right.
He's put on some weight. Hello buffet. That's savage right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, I honestly, I think that for some reason, I just think that the Bills need that spark, and once they get that spark, they're going to go full throttle, or at least as far as they can go.
There's a good chance that wild card super weekend with 1 billion games, it's like March Madness.
Yeah, we should create a bracket for that. Actually,
yes, exactly. Golly, like this is what the NFL wanted though. They wanted football all day, all night.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Vince McMahon.
All night long, all night. Shout out to Lionel Richie and the Commodores. Listen, man, what cracks me up, man, is I know that the Packers, they're in play. There's a good chance they could get in as the 7th seed. The Rams, obviously, they're going to be in there as well. Everyone is talking about the Rams as if Kurt Warner and Oz Hakeem and Marshall Faulk,
the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, like Dick Vermeil's back there and Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce. Like, I could have sworn that was 1999,
right?
Like the Prince song. Like I could have sworn. But you talk to anybody now, national media cannot stop talking about the Rams. Matt Stafford is Joe Montana. I don't know if you knew that. I don't know when that happened. Now, granted, he is a Super Bowl champion. You got to give him his props. He got that.
And I also think that people are actually hyping up, as much as I love him, and he's a great player, I think that the whole Aaron Donald hype is a little bit more than it should be.
Well, yeah, I mean, he has earned the G word.
He did.
He's earned the G word. What I'm kind of with you on that. I feel like because the Rams, everyone expected this to kind of be like a rebuild year for them since they traded away all their picks.
Yeah, they don't have anything. Yeah,
exactly.
And then Mike LaFleur is the new offensive coordinator.
Yes. They've taken advantage of a soft schedule. And they've gotten hot. They've begun to run the ball more. Kerryon Williams was an excellent late pick. Puka has come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Has come out of nowhere, whatnot. And Cooper Kupp is getting more healthy. And so I think they'll be a force in the playoffs for sure. But this, they're a sleeper team to, win the Super Bowl or whatnot. This Colin Cowherd love and Dan Orlovsky love that they're gonna knock off everybody and you don't want to play the Rams right now or whatever. I'm just like,
shut up.
I'm like, listen, did they not just almost lose to the Giants last week? Am I missing something? Did Stafford not throw 2 interceptions to the vaunted Giant defense?
The only reason they won that is because their kicker doesn't know how to play kicker.
Mason Crossbar is 50 years old. Was on his couch last week sipping a burpee.
Yes.
And he couldn't make a kick that would have won the game.
Right.
But he could make a kick in the playoffs to beat the Cowboys. 2016. It always comes back.
That's a savage right there. That's a savage right there.
Now you want to miss kicks. Mason Crossbar.
See this man right here? He's going through a Vietnam flashback right now.
I am. Cold sweat. Yeah, exactly. So my thing is, let's pump the brakes. The Rams are not the big bad Rams.
No.
Stay away from them. That everybody keeps saying they're not. And with that being said, like, can they knock somebody off? Yes, they can, because it's the playoffs. Anything can happen.
It's football,
bro. The Avengers could lose. They
Yes.
really could.
Yes.
The same Avengers team that lost to the Vikings.
Right. Thanos could come out just like that.
Exactly. The Ravens could lose their first game. Like, the freaking Chiefs could be one and done. It's football. That's the beauty of it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What was it a couple of years ago that there was this number one seeded team and they got eliminated in the playoffs?
It was the Ravens.
That's what it is.
Lamar
against
Jackson.
Tennessee.
Exactly.
Against Tennessee. See, so anything can happen in the NFL.
Exactly.
Even though we say it's scripted all the time, but you know what?
Which it is, but still. But it's anything can happen.
Rewrites are done every now and then. Yes. Rewrites.
Yes. So that's I can't wait for the playoffs. I can't wait for some of these upsets to happen, because I do believe a wild card team is going to.
I can't wait to see my team not in it for the 13th year straight.
It's all right, bro.
But you know what? I'm just glad I don't have to see Bill Belichick's ugly mug in the playoffs anymore.
It's all right, bro. I'll send you a Christian Hackenberg jersey and as a savage.
Give him a Don Lemon while you're at it, too.
The worst pick in the history of the NFL. Christian Hackenberg.
Oh, he never played a down in the NFL.
Oh,
woo!
Joe Benigno.
Oh man,
where's Joe? Go tight on me.
Yeah.
This guy right here. Keep on coming.
Oh,
hey, give me
God.
2 Roman Reigns. Give me 2 Roman Reigns back to back.
Why
Please.
would you play games?
Oh man. Yes.
Love you, Joe. We got to get you on the show soon,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah.
It'll definitely
And before your bedtime too. Also.
Yes, of course. Can I eat now?
Oh, man. If I don't eat now, I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna die. Oh man, I'm gonna put the belt on.
Oh yeah, rock it, because you know what? You deserve it after that whole spectacle that happened in Jerry's World. Yes.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna wear this in preparation. Hopefully, I'm praying to God we don't screw it up and cowboy it up. Like, I'm wearing this in preparation of possibly being NFC East champions and being the number 2 seed. I'm Cowboys. Where's my camera? Dallas, please. Don't do this to me. It's a new year. The curse is broken. Please don't do this to me. Just don't. We don't. Please.
We need to put that in the socials.
Please. I beg.
Yeah. You know what? Shout out to Desi and the checking real quick, because we're going to touch on the Aaron Rodgers controversy in a little bit. We were saving that for the end.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But anyway, going back to the playoff picture here, we kind of went off the rails over here.
We did, but
you know
it's all good.
That's what we do here at Bravery Studios in Garfield, New Jersey.
The band, give me another Kevin Nash. It's a new year.
Is back together.
By the way, I was watching Blues Brothers the other night as well, just for old time's sake.
Oh yeah,
that's now on Netflix.
That needs to be a movie night at Bravery Studios.
For sure.
It's still firmly entrenched in my top 5 movies.
Yes, I agree.
John Landis, John J, love you, dog.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at these matchups. Now, mind you, these matchups are subject to change.
Yes.
Like this playoff bracket could look very differently next week.
Yep.
When the dust is settled or whatnot. But again, I am firmly looking at some of these matchups here. You could possibly have Chiefs Bills, like that's in play as well.
And they have a history too.
Yes. I mean, you could have the Matt Stafford Bowl. It could very well be Detroit versus the Rams.
How about the Cowboys and the 49ers?
Cowboys 49ers is a possibility a couple weeks down the road, and like, you could have the Ravens against the Chiefs or the Ravens against the Browns.
Yeah.
And again,
nobody's talking about the Browns
No
either.
one's talking about Joe Flacco. Our hero of the week last week, the comeback player of the year. The award is etched in stone. Like the AFC, and like I'm telling you, this year, this is what I love about football. This year, it is so wide open. It is not. And I've been saying this. Everyone's like, oh, well, yeah, it's going to be 49ers, Ravens. You could just write that in or whatnot. I'm like,
the Dolphins are going to the ship.
I've been saying this.
You know the curmudgeons are out there.
For sure. I will wear the clown mask for the full segment. For the full segment. If we get Ravens 49ers, if that's actually the Super Bowl, like a la, what was that, 2015? If we get that Super Bowl and it goes straight chalk, one seeds go through or whatnot, I'll wear the clown mask for the entire segment. But I am telling you, Jason Enrique Iglesias, I am telling you, book it. I'll say it with 10 toes down. That is not going to be the Super Bowl matchup. It's not.
No.
It's not. I'm telling you. Tell me when I'm telling lies. It's not going to be a Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah.
One of those teams, I don't know if it's going to be both of them, but one of those teams is not going to make it. Book it.
I agree. And honestly, I think it might be the Avengers.
You believe so?
I believe so. I think that I really truly believe this, and I have been proven right on the show so far a couple of times already.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I as great as the 49ers are, I don't know. I think that I think there's going to be. I think M. Night Shyamalan is going to come into the screenwriters room and do a little twist ending right there, where they pull a Sixth Sense and they don't make it to the dance.
Again, like. They're the 1 seed. I was telling my brother this. My brother's like locked in now on 49er. Like he's always locked in because he's a nerd like me. But he's like locked in. And I told him, I was like, listen, I told you he drank the Kool-Aid months ago. He believes Brock Montana is Brock Montana.
Do you have also? Correct me if I'm wrong, but when we were out celebrating the owl, shout out to Chris Ballo, by the way. Did you, when we were doing that little after party thing? Did you have another relative that's an Eagles fan or something?
Oh, so that's my boy Sonny. He's not my cousin, but he's like a brother to me. He's one of my childhood homies.
Okay, because I was thinking to myself, it must be crazy to be in a household of a 49er fan, a Cowboy fan, and an Eagle fan.
Oh no, so like he's in witness protection right now. I haven't seen
Joel Formetta's in there as well.
Oh yeah, I saw him at Christmas. Shout out to Sonny, love you, dog. I saw or Houdini. I saw him. That's his nickname. I'm not trolling.
How many of us have them? Friends.
Ones you can depend on.
Friends.
I saw him at Christmas. He definitely pulled up with the kiddos, because he's a dad 2 times over.
Right.
But it's like, I definitely steered the conversation away from football because he was talking reckless. He was talking wilder than Joel. And I tried to tell him after the first meeting, when the Eagles knocked up Dallas in Philly because of the refs, I was like, listen, they're going to run that fade back again, bro.
Yep.
And it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. And tell me when I'm telling lies. We know how that works.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
But yeah, so but to wrap real quick before we get to the picks, I mean, it's like I'm so excited for these playoffs, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be I'm gonna be so locked in on Super Wild Card March Madness weekend.
Yes.
There's gonna be 50 games. They're gonna try to put Dallas on Monday night again for a second straight year. They're gonna try.
Right.
They're gonna try. Like hopefully they don't, because I actually hate that. I hate I'm not sitting around waiting all day for Monday night. Freaking like having to wait. Go through the Saturday games and then the Sunday games and then all day Monday. Just the anxiety, bro, is on a billion. I was ask Mongo last year before Cowboys played.
Shout out to Mongo. Yeah.
Love you, Mongo. Like I was a wreck going into that Monday night game against the Bucks. I'm just like, I feel like I had to wait like 3 weeks for them to play because like 50 playoff games happen and then standalone game, Cowboys versus the Tom Brady. They've never beaten them before, and we blew the doors off them, which shocked me, because I thought we were going to lose on the second field goal again.
Right. I thought the refs were going to do something.
Exactly. So, but yeah, there's going to be so many games. I am excited, bro. I forget week 18. Let's start the playoffs now. This is just starting out.
This is my Breaking Bad binging right here.
Facts. Big facts.
This is what's happening right here.
Big facts.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just really sad that my team and Aaron Rodgers aren't in it.
It's all good, bro. You guys. If Rodgers is healthy next year, that's a big if.
That's a big if.
Big caveat there. If he's healthy, just like this year, you guys will be in. I don't know if you guys will win the division, but you will at minimum win 10 to 11 games and get in as a wild card, which is what
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I said if Rodgers was healthy, I said you guys were going to win 11 games this year. That's why I said coming into the season.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
that's a big if.
And I think that's what should have happened. But hopefully there'll be a reprieve next year.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay. We're here for you. We're here for you, friends. Yes, how many of us have them?
Friends. Thank you, Marv. I'll appreciate that.
Marvelous.
All right, so let's make it to our pick segments.
Yes,
let's do this.
About that time.
Yes. We do this. We do this. All right.
Don't do that here.
All right. So, ironically, speaking of the devil, and this is the devil indeed right here. We got the Jets at the Patriots. First 1 o'clock game on Fox. This is an atrocious game. You got Trevor Siemian and Bailey Zappi going head-to-head against a coach that is very questionable against another coach who has lost his luster because he lost his boy Wonder all those years ago. And there's a lot of rumors going around now that Bill Belichick is about to coach his final game as the head coach of the New England Patriots tomorrow. But you know what? This is also the same guy that despises the Jets. I have no reason why. Nobody understands why. He has put his foot on their neck for so long, and he acts like we continue to embarrass him. I never understood the hate. I don't understand it. Nobody else does.
Well, was he the head coach there?
He was the head coach for a day. I can't believe you don't know this story. If it's some Jet fans might know, but I'll tell you right now, little story time, as the kids say. This is story time right now. But when Bill Parcells left the Jets, Bill Belichick was next in line, and he was the head coach of the Jets for 1 day. And then the next following day, he wrote down on a napkin that says, "I resign as HC of the NYJ." And then he had a press conference saying that he's resigning, and the Jets had to end up trading him to New England for a first-round pick and other stuff like that. But I don't know why they would even trade him to a division rival. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I was petty.
Yeah, but anyway, but that's essentially what happened. He was our coach for 1 day, and that's it. That's all she wrote.
That's all it took.
Yeah, but
for that hatred to be born.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, that napkin is being sold on eBay somewhere.
It has
right
to
now.
be. It's framed somewhere.
But anyway, sticking with this game though, there's nothing special about this game. The only clout that it has is that this could possibly be Bill Belichick's final game as the head coach of the New England Patriots. And like I said, we know he hates them. They got nothing to play for. The Jets are already out of playoff contention. But the only motivation that the Jets have to beat the Patriots here, and I can't choose, it's a 50-50 toss-up, is they need to snap this 15 game losing streak against Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots.
Oh, it's not happening, bro.
They haven't won a game since 2015 against these guys.
There's no way that, listen, the Jets are going to play this like this is their Super Bowl.
Right.
Like they want to send him out, and especially it's in New England, they want to send him out in style. They want to give him a final curtain call and like an emotional farewell.
This is a homecoming game, apparently.
Exactly. And as soon as you told me Trevor Siemian was at quarterback, Tim Boyle could have been at quarterback. Like Joe Namath could come out of retirement to play right now, and he would give the Jets a better chance than what they have.
I think that Aaron
Siemian.
Rodgers with one Achilles would give him a better chance.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, but I just know. I don't know what is going on. I think that this defense is so tired because they've been on the field more than the offense has. It's just been nothing but a 3-and-out fest this entire season. I think they're gassed. I think they're done. I think they're already looking forward to their reservations in Cabo.
Oh, yeah. This is the Cabo Bowl.
Yeah, the Cabo Bowl. I like that.
This is the Hopper Bowl.
And with that being said, I think that they're going to make Bailey Zappi look like Kirk Cousins.
Okay. I mean, this is the same Zappi that went to Denver and, and again, they're not a playoff team, but they have a serviceable defense as well. And he had his moments. Mm-hmm. I don't like the fact that it's in New England.
It's in New England. And there might be snow. And there might be snow as well. It's going to be a snowy game.
Yeah. I can't imagine the Patriots are going to drop. Again, mind you, they already lost on when Tom Brady was retiring his jersey when they played the Eagles. They lost that game already, which was egregious. But I don't see them losing in Bill's final game. I don't see it happening.
Right, but even though it would benefit the New England Patriots to lose this game, because that means that they would still be picking top 5 in the draft, and they can get Drake May or dare I say Michael Penix or whatever. So there's I take it back. There's a little bit more implications, but at the end of the day, I hate to say this, I can't stand Bill Belichick's ugly mug and his smugness and so on and so forth. But
Only one more game.
yeah, no, knowing him, the evil genius, he'll find a way to haunt us even if we're not in the same conference. I know you will. But anyway, but yeah, no, this is he does not want his final game as the head coach of the New England Patriots to lose against the New York Jets. So yeah, let me give this one to the Patriots. Unfortunately, the streak continues on. Jesus Christ Almighty!
Jesus.
I'm gonna say this is gonna be 10-6.
Give me 20-17.
Oh,
Nail
okay.
batter.
You're actually giving Trevor Siemian a chance.
Oh, those are going to be defensive touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
So
you're telling me there's a chance.
There's a lot of NSFW quarterback play that's about to go down, and which is why I won't be watching this game. Like CBS, you can force me all you want, but I don't have to watch it.
I heard. I don't know who's calling the game. I forget who calls the game, but I did hear.
Oh, it's on Fox. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's on Fox.
Yeah.
But I did hear it's like at the bottom at the bottom rung of whoever is the announcers for Fox. So
yeah, because they already they're sending their A team with Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson and Aaron Andrews. They're sending them to Washington.
I think it's Daryl Speedus and Adam Archuleta. If I'm not mistaken.
They're getting the C team.
Nothing against them. It's just that it is what it is. You know, you are what you are.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I'm unfortunately going to go with the Patriots here. But
yeah.
All right. So next one, 4:30 game. We talked about this earlier with Kamal from Free Gems. Shout out to the Free Gems podcast. Steelers at the Ravens. So it's interesting because the Ravens are already locked up.
Yeah.
Lamar's not playing in this game.
Nope.
And but it's still the Steelers and the Ravens. It's still going to be prime time. It's going to be box office. They hate each other. And I think that Mike Tomlin is still out to prove something that he still belongs in this league.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the Ravens are going to be resting a lot of starters, this is tailor-made for the Steelers.
In Baltimore.
And yeah, exactly. This is tailor-made for the Steelers to again, and they need a win and some help to get in. And if they can get in with the way their defense, when they want to show up, nobody's blocking J.J. Watt.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
T.J. Watt, I keep saying J.J. No one's blocking T.J. Watt. Nobody's blocking Highsmith. And again, they run when the Steelers want to play bully ball, they still can. That's still a Mike Tomlin staple.
Yeah.
It's just their quarterback play has been so bad, and their defense has been so inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what's been really holding them back. But this is tailor made for them. Again, they're playing the Ravens backups. They're playing the Ravens backups.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers playing their starters. Ravens playing their backups. The Steelers should win this game.
Yeah.
And they will win this game, 27-17.
This is a ridiculous take. Can you imagine if Mason Rudolph actually looks like Big Ben and then the Steelers give him a Jimmy Garoppolo type contract?
That would be hilarious. I know Free Gems would lose their minds.
Oh my
boy! Shout out to my boy Rocket. He's a Harlem Wizard legend, Hillside native. My main man Rashawn Barner. He's one of the biggest Steeler fans I know. He nicknamed Mason Rudolph Mason Knock Your Head Off Rudolph because he was swinging the helmet around. So knock your head off Rudolph. And you said the Christmas is over. I remember you said that last week. And I
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. That's what I'm seeing right here.
Yeah. I expect Mason Rudolph to play well against their backups. And again, even with this win, they still need a lot of help to get in. But the Steelers are going to win this game, and it probably is not going to mean much for them playoff wise.
Yeah, and my mistake. That game is actually tonight. Is at 4:30.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's tonight.
It is.
I made a mistake. Yeah.
No, you're good.
All right. Now, also another 1:00 game. We have the Browns at the Bengals. Another AFC North divisional game.
Well, yeah.
Bengals already out.
So
and Joe Flacco's not playing.
Well, I think that I don't know what the Browns are doing in terms of resting starters. Because if they're in the same boat, if they're locked into the I believe the 6th seed. Mm-hmm. If they're locked into their seeding or whatnot, we can go back and check that real quick. The 5th seed. Yeah, if the Browns are locked into the 5, there's no benefit for them to really play this game.
Right. Well, Joe Flacco is already not playing in this game anyway. So.
Yeah. That and with him not playing, that lets me know that Zach Taylor wants to rest guys and not do anything foolish and get somebody hurt.
Yeah, basically this game is for the players to collect a check. That's all it is.
Yeah. So give me the Bengals here. Give me the Bengals here. The Browns just want to get through this one. This is a preseason game. It's a preseason game.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exhibition.
Exhibition. So give me the Bengals.
Yeah, I'll take the Bengals here too. I'll say 14-7.
I say 17-14 or 17-7.
Okay. And one of those touchdowns is going to be a defensive touchdown.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Next one we have Forget about these 1 o'clock games.
Nah.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. We have the. Oh, come on. We got to talk about. Let's get a little Jimmy Johnson here.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah.
The man is in the Ring of Honor. The curse is broken.
I don't think Marv's gonna forget that name going forward.
He won't.
All right, but the Cowboys against the Commanders.
What a disaster.
Unlimited.
Love you, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Joe.
Yeah.
So I've again, this is my plea to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
Once again.
Where's his camera? There you go.
Please go tight on me, Dallas. Please, and knowing us, this is gonna watch the game go into overtime. And watch me text you like, see, here we go. This is why we can't have nice things. But listen, what's crazy too is the Commanders. A lot of their starters are not going to be playing. Jonathan Allen's not playing in this game. All 3 of their starting cornerbacks have been ruled out already. So I'm saying, I think 2 of their offensive linemen aren't playing. This is a U-Haul game for them. They know what it is. They know that Rivera's about to get fired. They're about to clean house dramatically. Ownership is about to show. This is a merger.
Yes,
you
yes.
know what I mean? Speaking of mergers, certain organizations are filing for bankruptcy, but that's not here and there. So it's just the Commanders know that. You'll know what type of game this is going to be in the first quarter. If they come in guns a-blazing, Cowboys are doing Cowboy things, pre-curse, and turning the ball over, 3 and outs, sloppy football, bad blocking, just inconsistent. Mike McCarthy's calling nonsense. If it's classic Cowboy stuff, they can mess around and this is going to go down to the wire. They'll need a game-winning drive to win this game. If they come out the gates, out the blocks, they get the ball first, they drive down, score a touchdown. The Commodores are going to fold really quickly. This is a U-Haul game. We out of here. You know what I mean? So
it's funny because their name of the field is FedEx.
Exactly. they want to ship and get out real quick. You know what I mean? So yeah. No, this game is for Dallas. This is literally teed up and gift wrapped for them to get the 2 seed, to get the division, to get a shot at the real belt come tournament time. This is all teed up for them. And honestly, Adam Schefter already came out with his report today that Mike McCarthy is coaching for his job in the playoffs. You know, and which I firmly agree with. Yes, he's given them potentially 3 straight 12-win seasons, something that hasn't happened since Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer since the 90s. You're getting the wins, but that playoff run, you need that because that's going to validate everything that you're doing, bro. And they come out and lose this game, I'm going to change my tune on a dime. I'm not going to pick them to do anything in the tournament. If you can't come out and handle business to a team that is checked out, this is, again, the U-Haul trucks are packed up. Yeah. It's a pack-up game for them. Right. You know what I mean? So give me the Cowboys like it should be. Give me the Cowboys big. 34-17, T-shirts, hats. Freaking Cooper Rush is playing in the second half. That's what should happen. Yes. That's what should happen.
All right. I agree with you. Next game we have up. Should we do these last 2 games or just one more? Let's do one more.
Let's do one more.
So let's do the. We mentioned earlier the Rams at the 49ers.
Yes.
So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this game. I mean, it doesn't have as nearly much as cachet as it would have maybe a couple of weeks ago.
It's another preseason game, honestly.
Yeah, it's another preseason game. 4 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. Scratch that. I just realized I'm a hack. Let's scratch that. The Bills at the Dolphins.
Yeah, let's do that game instead. But for since you did mention the game and whatnot, give me the 49ers 17-10. Like backups. It's backups versus backups.
Yeah.
Because the Rams are resting their starters for the wild card game. They know they're going to be on the road. And the 49ers, they're not playing anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they don't have to play another meaningful game for a month, honestly. so yeah, but give me the 49ers because Carson Wentz is going to look like he's going to look terrible. But
in the words of Demi Moore, ditto.
Yes,
anyways.
Exactly. True. So
the Bills at the Dolphins. Miami.
The Dolphins are at home. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean anything. No. I don't trust them right now.
No.
I don't.
And this is also the same Dolphin team. I know they got some weapons now and everything, but this is the same Dolphin team that also lost to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers at a game that should have mattered last year in Miami.
Not to mention they lost to Will Levis and the Titans. I don't care what Aaron says, bro. I fried him up like freaking KFC, like a bucket right there, like a family dinner.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you guys are so Jekyll and Hyde. It's not even funny.
My God. That's the perfect analogy right there.
I told you last week 2 weeks ago, it was the Spider-Man meme bowl with the Cowboys and the Dolphins. Oh no, I'm inconsistent.
Yeah.
I'm inconsistent.
By the way, I noticed he's also in the Winners Protection Program because he's not in the check-in today.
No, he's not. He's not. I told you, he's hanging out with freaking Jesse Pinkman.
Jesse Pinkman, yes.
Joel, Walter White, who's probably survived and didn't die at the end of the show. Like
spoiler alert.
Yes, exactly. He's alive. He's alive. You didn't see him. Exactly. He's alive. He's alive. but no. So what I'm saying is, give me the Bills.
Yes.
Give me the Bills. Give me the Bills 34-24 because I don't trust the Dolphins. And again, the fact that they lost Chubb is huge.
That is a big fact.
And the fact they lost Waddle is even bigger.
Yeah.
Because now I'm just going to triple team friggin' Tyreek Hill. I'm going to triple team him all game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't trust them against top-tier teams. Again, I told you, they're a great value version of the 49ers.
Right.
And
also, you know how I love crowd work.
Yeah.
Bills Mafia will be down there for this game.
They're going to take over that stadium.
They're going to take over that stadium.
That's what they do.
They want to be there for their team. They want to enjoy the weather and everything. They travel very well. They're nuts. Yeah. So and also, like I mentioned before, Buffalo knows that their Super Bowl window is closing.
Yes.
So they're grasping at straws right now.
Facts.
And I trust Josh Allen more than Tua Tagovailoa.
I said Tua.
Freudian slip there. But anyway, no, in all seriousness, I just think that the stakes are much, much higher for Buffalo, so they need to take this seriously.
Yeah.
They have to, and I think they're going to. So give me the Bills. I'm going to say 20-14.
Yeah, I mean, because McDaniel, he's not going anywhere. Their coaching staff is intact and whatnot. But Buffalo, McDermott's job is not secure.
That seat is getting warmer by the minute.
Yes,
Yeah.
facts.
All right, so there we go. That is our predictions, and now it's time for everybody's favorite segment. Marv, please cue the music.
Oh, Margarita Margarita. Hey.
Shout out to Kim, by the way.
Yahtzee.
All right, so this segment of Clown of the Week is brought to you by the First Class, Second Place podcast, the Ugo Boy podcast, Bravery Studios, and also shout out to Free Gems podcast.
Oh, my goodness. Please hand me the clown mask.
Oh, yes. I will gladly do that.
There are so many candidates. There's so many candidates. It's about to be playoff time, so this is a Hall of Famer. This Hall of Famer has to make his appearance with the playoffs on the horizon. Stephen A. Smith, once again, come on down.
I knew it.
Come on down.
Perfect.
And flat out deceive.
Big bozo energy.
Mm-hmm.
Big bozo energy.
Fix that red nose, man.
Exactly, please. You fix the red hair, the green hair, the big red shoes. Fix it all, man. This guy, yet again, his song and dance is gonna come to an end one day when that Cowboy drought is over. I'm praying that it's this year, but who knows? Who knows? But when the drought is over, I can't wait to shut this guy up once and for all.
Matter of fact, I'm going to give you the hat and the cigar when that happens.
My goodness, I'm going to be insufferable. You already know that. We might be on location at AT&T Stadium. It's going to be nuts. But yeah, this guy said that the Cowboys had basically 5 homecoming games, and this was a very close race. It was either going to be him or Bart Clown Bozo Scott. It was going to be one of them. But Stephen A. didn't give any credit whatsoever to the Cowboys for that win. Mind you, Dak threw for 345 yards, and he continues to wave the flag, saying that Dak does not show up in big games. He has been so steadfast with that lie, because it's a lie. It's a lie, saying that Dak doesn't show up in big games. Now, granted, last year in the playoffs against the 49ers and the year before against the 49ers in the playoffs, he did not play well. He did not. And I fried him up something vicious in both of those playoff losses, ass manga or whatnot.
Right.
But this myth that he does not show up when the chips are down, or this myth that he has not been a Super Bowl contending, MVP contending quarterback for a number of years now. The numbers don't lie. Is just not true. Does he need to win in the playoffs just like Mike McCarthy to keep his job?
Yes.
Absolutely. But you're not going to tell me that 10 to 15 teams wouldn't give up 5 freaking first-round picks to get Rain Dakota at quarterback. Like, please. He is one of the best in the biz, and this guy does not want to give him his credit, but trust me, he's going to take it one way or another. So, Big Bozo Stephen A. Clown, congratulations once again. As always, buddy, you clowned yourself.
All righty. Love it. Love to hear it, man. And yes, that is definitely a Hall of Fame clown right there.
Yes.
So.
Oh, wait. He's been waiting all week for a clown of the week.
All right. So. I actually could have gone in so many different directions with this segment. I could have gone to Aaron Rodgers for his little snide that he did on Pat McAfee, shooting a shot at Jimmy Kimmel, with the whole Epstein list thing that's going on right now, which I don't think was cool personally. I could have gone with Nathaniel Hackett, who is the Jets OC, who actually said a very weird thing where he said about Breece Hall in the season, I don't think that I was ready for him to be as productive as he was in the past game. That's an indictment on you. However, anybody knows me knows that I'm a huge radio nerd, especially when it comes to sports radio.
Big facts.
And I used to be an avid fan of WFAN. And in some cases, I still kind of am, but it has fallen off the cliff in a big way. There's no more Joe Benigno, even only just on right now, as we speak right now. Shout out to Joe Benigno. There's still Evan Roberts, who I still respect. There's still got Keith McPherson and everything. But there's a lot of clownish stuff that is going on in that station right now. And right now, the person that is in my crosshairs for Clown of the Week is none other than Sal Licata, because he actually said that Robert Saleh is by far the worst head coach in the NFL. I have to say, Brandon Staley, Todd Bowles, Ron Rivera, Josh McDaniels, and Frank Reich are all saying, hold my beer. You are clearly saying this because you are a Giant fan that clearly hates the Jets, and you're trying to create bulletin fodder because you're trying to get your ratings up, even though you say you don't need it, but it's all clownish. The WFAN has gone so off the cliff by hiring hacks like Sal Licata for coming up with picks. You are basically a poor man's version of Skip Bayless for WFAN right now.
Savage.
So what we need to do, we need to get the program director. We need a cleansing of we need a damn cleansing of the entire WFAN right now. Get rid of all this trash. Sal Licata, you are my Clown of the Week.
The bottle's gotta go. The bottle's gotta go.
Oh my God.
Savage.
He pulled the Triple H. I thought you were gonna the top rope and spit the water out.
Oh man, no, I can't do that to the equipment, man. I respect Mark too much for that. But I need the cleanse. I need the cleanse right now. Everybody in New York needs it from this trash radio station.
This man just did a baptism on air. I love it. Round of applause for Jason and Ugo. Let's get these heroes. Let's get them out of here, man.
Yes.
Mark, cue the music up. Cue the music up. My hero of the week. Let's go back to back with it, just like back-to-back Super Bowls. Jimmy Johnson! Jimmy Johnson, baby! You are my hero of the week. You're in the Ring of Honor. You're in the Miami Hurricane Ring of Honor. You're in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And now you're in the Dallas Cowboy Ring of Honor. You created How About Them Cowboys. I love you, Jimmy. Welcome to the Ring of Honor. How about them Cowboys?
All right. Well, my hero of the week, I'm going to give it to Joe Flacco.
Okay.
I think that Joe Flacco, he's not playing in this game as we mentioned before, but he's shown that there's still a lot left in the tank right now. He actually is on a team that the Jets should have been, and he actually reached out to the Jets to see if he could take the place of Aaron Rodgers, who's out for the entire season, and they said no. And he's actually proving it right now that you made the mistake. And you know what? I never hated you, Joe. I always liked you. I've always respected you. I would have loved to have seen you in the green and white, but you know what? You're doing your thing out in Cleveland. You have a stout defense that's better than the Jets right now. That is that's fact right there. So yeah, my hero of the week goes to Joe Flacco. Congratulations, buddy.
Oh man, we're just getting started.
Yeah.
We're just getting started.
2024 is starting off with a bang. I just baptized myself for 2024, and you guys are not ready for it.
For sure. You ready to get out of here, man?
Oh yeah, we did this. I'm ready to go eat, man. I don't know about you, but yeah.
I got to drive to a Harlem Wizard game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, shout out to the Harlem Wizards. Shout out to the
world famous Harlem Wizards.
Yes. All right. So let's just close it out. I don't know if I can give out my socials because that's a whole nother story right now. So,
but First Class Second Place podcast.
Yes. Follow First Class Second Place podcast. Now streaming on all digital platforms. Follow me on YouTube at Jason Enrique. That's where you can find me temporarily for right now.
Yes, sir. Ski and me, as always, UgoBoy88, as well as UgoBoy Media. We got 2 channels on YouTube. Shout out to all the subscribers. Round of applause. Give me a couple more Baileys. The season premiere of the Ugo Boy podcast, the year premiere of the Ugo Boy podcast, is going to be Monday night with my main man Jason Enrique, my main man Mongo, and D Sizzle. The band is back together for some sports talk. So thank you for all the subscribers, old subscribers, new subscribers, as well as Ugo Boy 88 on all platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So we're just gonna keep this train rolling.
Yes.
And of course, Marvelous on the boards.
Hey,
Marvelous on the boards. And take us home with the Ric Flair, baby. Take us home with the Ric Flair.
Whether you like it or don't like it, learn to love it because it is the best thing going today.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say who's on the beat because you should know that by now. Check it. Hey, yo, music's on my mind. Like my 59, 50, I ain't lying.